Take over Broad Street. Hundreds of people marching after police shut down the Robert E. Lee Monument. We're going to show you where the protesters were headed next.
Police officers in schools following days of protests against police brutality. Leaders of several local districts are discussing their SRO program. We'll tell you what they're saying.
Margaret Rock.
A special graduation, getting a diploma wasn't the student's only high school goal. We're going to tell you about her journey that led to this milestone moment.
Working for you. This is CBS 6 Early Morning.
Well, hi there, 5 o'clock on this Thursday morning. We're so glad you're with us. I'm Rob Cardwell.
And I'm Reba Hollingsworth. We have a lot to get to this morning. Shannon will have a check on the roads for us coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's go outside to Tom Patton. Hey, Tom.
Good to see you guys this Thursday morning. By the way, Rob, this morning's coffee tastes like an old fireplace.
Well, then I made it just like you like it.
I love it. You're right. I love it. But I mean like an old fireplace.
Ooh, wow.
It smells that way, too.
All right. Let's show what's happening out there. Man, it's a lot more humid this morning, so it's not as lovely as it was yesterday morning. 67 degrees, but the dew point, we're almost matching that with a 64. So humidity's high. There's really very little, if any, wind to kind of cool you off a little bit this morning. But it's just a bit more muggy, and we'll notice that today, and we'll get some showers and a few thunderstorms developing, too. 60s in many areas, 63 in Louisa, 70 along the Chesapeake Bay this morning, and no visibility issues. We do have some clouds and a stray shower that have moved in, and we'll see a bit more of these as we go into the afternoon today. I'll show you that coming up later. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Tom. We're following breaking news this morning.
Protesters take to the streets, marching down Broad overnight after police told them to leave the Lee Monument. Gabrielle Harmon is live in Richmond. Gabrielle, this is the third night in a row where unlawful assembly has been declared, right?
Reba, that's right, and protesters were seen marching down Broad Street heading west. Here's what we know. Around 11 o'clock last night, police tweeted out that they announced the grounds of the Lee Monument were closed to the public and that if the area wasn't cleared immediately, they would begin arresting people. About 20 minutes later, we were told that protesters moved on the roadway around the Lee Monument after police say they began to enforce trespassing violations. About 5 minutes later, an unlawful assembly was declared after police say rocks were thrown at officers by those in the crowd. Police say the area was cleared around 11:30 and that protesters were seen marching throughout the city down Broad Street as well as in Monroe Park where the Wickham statue used to be. State police say that the area was cleared without force, but we did receive a video showing what appeared to be a man hit with a rubber bullet. We will be following up with police on that incident. Riverview in Richmond, Gabrielle Harmon, CBS 6 News.
All right, thank you, Gabrielle.
Also breaking overnight, police tweeted these photos of windows smashed at the Starbucks location on North Robinson Street. Police say after protesters dispersed from the Lee Monument, they received a report just before midnight of glass breaking and an explosion at the Starbucks. Police say a brick and a lit flare was thrown through the window of the store. At this time, police do not know if the protesters are responsible for the vandalism.
We're also learning no one was arrested after an unlawful assembly was declared at the Lee Monument. That happened just after 2:30 Wednesday morning, and police tell us the area cleared within a matter of minutes. The Lee Monument is now closed to the public from sunset to sunrise.
Less than 2 years ago, there was a massive push to get school resource officers into local schools. A gunman had just shot and killed 17 people inside a Parkland, Florida high school, and people across the U.S. were fearful. Now there's a movement to remove those officers from area schools because of the unrest over police brutality. Tuesday night, Henrico County leaders and law enforcement discussed the county's current SRO program. Right now, police say 35 officers are currently serving in county schools, and they made a custodial arrest during the school year that just ended and 15 the year before.
I will stand here and say I support SROs being in our schools, and if we can utilize those education pieces to a better benefit, I don't want them in schools if it's going to be increasing charges on, particularly on black and brown kids, and then that puts them in the prison to school pipeline.
The school-to-prison pipeline is a national trend where harsh school policies funnel disadvantaged children out of the schools and into the juvenile and criminal justice system. Many students impacted struggle with learning disabilities, poverty, abuse, and neglect. Mark Schindler is with the Justice Policy Institute in Washington, D.C. He studies juvenile criminal justice issues.
What we know is that youth of color are more likely to be suspended and expelled and arrested and sent to the justice system when you have the presence of a school resource officer, and that's with no positive impact on public safety.
Mo Kennedy, a retired SRO, and now trains them through his organization in Alabama. He believes they're needed now more than ever to help improve community and police relations. Richmond school board leaders have also discussed their SRO program. They will conduct a 90-day review with the help of students, teachers, and the public before final recommendations.
Retelling the legacy of Richmond's Arthur Ashe on the big screen. Plans are in the works to honor the late tennis legend and civil rights activist with a movie. David Harris Jr. is Ashe's nephew, and he led the effort to rename the boulevard after his uncle last year. He says the Ashe estate has given the Hollywood project its full support and hopes it's a proper depiction of who Ashe was and how he lived his life.
He was able to, cross boundaries that some of us thought were impossible. And so that's one of those things that I try and hold true to myself. They've got a vision. And they're artists, they know their art form, and so I'm going to trust them to make a really good film.
Harris says he's interested to see who's going to play his uncle in the movie and hopes the tennis scenes will be as realistic as possible. He also says he's hoping parts of the movie are shot in Richmond. We do too. That would be great.
I wonder who could play him. Let me think about that.
Oh, I know. Oh, and how cool would it be if they did film it here in Richmond? We could watch it in the making. Oh my gosh.
So true.
Can't wait to see that. That's going to be incredible. Wow.
So how the roads look, Shannon?
The roads are looking good this morning, actually really good this morning. This is a look at I-95 right at Maury Street here heading into the city. Here's the northbound lanes. You can see there really isn't any traffic. I mean, cars are moving through very smoothly. That's really what we're seeing around the region. This is real-time traffic here. There are a few projects you may run into this morning. In fact, I ran into one, this one actually, a traffic alert, Richmond Bridge maintenance that's happening on Powhite Parkway North. If you're trying to get off at the ramp to Carey Street, that ramp is actually closed this morning, so you're going to need to take a detour, which we have right here. You'll continue north on I-195 and then take the Patterson Avenue exit, and that will just lead you around. Also, if you're in Hanover, you may run into this traffic alert, this pothole patching that's going on overnight in the southbound lanes here. So again, southbound lanes from Route 54 down to Lewistown Road on I-95. They have the center and right lane closed for that pothole patching, so just be sure you're moving over. Rob, Reba?
All right, thanks. Believe it or not, it's time to start thinking about the holidays.
Yeah, that's because it is National Leon Day. Leon is Noel spelled backwards, and offers to get started on those homemade holiday gifts since they can take some time to do. And if you're really into Leon Day, you can get a turkey and host a winter in June holiday party. Then you can go do it all again for Christmas in July.
All right, what do you think about that, Tom?
Well, I think Noël is a French word, correct? Meaning, well, it's how they say Christmas, right?
Oui.
But Noël backwards, Leon or Léon is also a French word, right? So either way, you're speaking French.
That's what you got out of that story.
That's glad you were listening.
Well, I see everything backwards out here, whether it shows or not.
You're a rebel without applause.
So I thought Leon was the real word, but I guess they're both French, so you have to say it like that, by the way. You can't say Leon, I think. Yes, the French will get angry with us. All right, let's discuss today's weather. It's a bit more humid out here today, and today we expect only 83, but it's not going to feel as nice as yesterday. We'll have less sun, we'll have more humidity, and we'll have some showers and thunderstorms developing on and off, probably any time from early afternoon through late into the evening. Not a constant rain, but just some scattered showers and thunderstorms. 67 tonight. Tomorrow, actually at 89, is going to be more comfortable with more sunshine. All right, guys. Joyeux Noël. I think that's how you say it. Or Leon.
Merci beaucoup. We appreciate it. Hey, you know why you may not be able to go to your normal spots to watch the fireworks because of the pandemic? We are bringing the show to you. We're partnering with the Flying Squirrels to bring you a fireworks celebration on July 4th at the Diamond, and we'll air it live here on CBS 6. That broadcast will be brought to you by the Virginia Lottery and will include live music, celebrity guests, and, of course, the main event, the fireworks display. So tune in at 9 o'clock on July 4th.
Nice.
Richmond isn't the only city in the U.S. where protesters have been pulling down statues. And now the president wants to get involved. We're going to tell you about his executive order that could add security to statues across the country.
And honoring a hidden figure, we're going to tell you what NASA is doing to recognize a Hampton woman whose work helped put astronauts into space.
Richmond together under the lights. Celebrate Independence Day with the City of Richmond and the Flying Squirrels. Watch live fireworks on CBS 6 starting at 9. Brought to you by the Virginia Lottery.
CBS 6 Sky Tracker, sponsored by McGeorge Toyota. We earn your trust every day.
Yes, I shop at the Dump. It's an outlet. Do you know what that means? It's a legit furniture outlet. So when a big name places an order, they then decide to change the fabric, a button, the tags, or a stitch. They have to dump their stuff. It's all brand name, brand new designer finds at 1/3 of the price. Go shopping, research online, knock yourself out. If you're smart, you'll end up here. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump.
America, this is our time to shine with spectacular savings at the Hyundai 4th of July sales event. Celebrate all 16 award-winning sedans and SUVs. With more IIHS top safety awards than Honda or Toyota brands, Hyundai Assurance with up to 3 years of complimentary maintenance, and America's best warranty. The Hyundai 4th of July sales event, helping everyone shine a little brighter this summer.
Get 0% APR for 72 months with no payments for 90 days on the Tucson or Santa Fe. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
358 college scholarships awarded since 1992.
451 hometown heroes honored for their inspiring achievements.
Over 550,000 pounds of food donated to Virginia food banks since 2009.
And countless lives saved by our Sober Ride Home program.
We are the personal injury law firm of Allen & Allen, helping our communities. That's also what we do. Call us.
Well, I start out on my route pretty early in the morning, so I do get to see the sun come up. I'm a people person, and I really do love dealing with the public. And if you have good customer skills, this is a good job for you. This is a great place to work, and you should come here because we have a great benefit package. Start your career today at GRTC and become a bus operator.
Apply today at ridegrtc.com.
Wouldn't it be great to have car insurance that's flexible when you need it to be? At Elephant Insurance, we think while many are driving less, you ought to pay less. That's why Elephant has Now That's Insurance on your terms. Drivers who switch to Elephant already save $594 a year, and now you can save with our new lower rates. Get a quote today at elephant.com.
People are coming out of the woodwork, showing their hearts in the midst of this pandemic. Teachers driving through neighborhoods, honking and waving at their kids because they miss them. People are stepping in, helping each other.
I'm Shelby Brown, and I'm working for you.
Great deals you don't have to fight for, because the best deals are written by Witten.
Now from CBS 6, the Weather Authority, meteorologist Tom Patton.
All right, it is what we like to call around here Little Friday. Some of you just call it Thursday, but around here it's Little Friday, so get your calendar straight. Here's a look at what's going to be happening today. We do have a marginal risk for severe weather. Again, this is the low-end category. And this means that, of course, thunderstorms could contain some gusty winds and heavy rainfall and the like, which most thunderstorms tend to anyway. But this is just saying, hey, this whole area has the potential today. This is what I call what's called the potential energy. We call this the CAPE. And as I put this into motion, the darker colors, the brown or tan color, I'm not sure how you see that at home, is where the best chances for maybe some stronger showers and storms. And I sort of breezed right by that. I'm so sorry. But as we go into the day today, we'll see some showers and storms developing anytime from early afternoon through the evening hours. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Tom. President Trump says he plans to sign an executive order by the end of the week to protect monuments, including assigning U.S. Marshals to oversee them. This comes as controversial statues continue to topple across the U.S. The city of Charleston, South Carolina, removed a state of former Vice President and slavery advocate John Calhoun. But some black leaders are saying the toppling of these statues may be detrimental in the movement for black justice, that is. In Madison, Wisconsin, protesters on Tuesday demonstrating against racial injustice tore down a statue of a famed abolitionist who led anti-slave efforts and threw it into a lake. In addition to the executive order, President Trump says the FBI is investigating hundreds of people for damage and destruction to monuments. Well, another vote in Congress on police reform today that is not expected to pass. The House will decide on the Justice in Policing Act this evening, which Republicans have called too far-reaching and said they will not agree to it. In contrast, Senate Democrats turned down a Republican proposal yesterday for not including enough. If a compromise cannot be reached soon, voters may get little say in which proposal they favor, since leaders for the House and the Senate are both on the ballot for the fall election.
A new initiative is encouraging people to shop at black-owned businesses around the country. It's called My Black Receipt. Now, the goal is to spend $5 million at black-owned businesses by July 6th. Economics experts estimate that between February and April, about 41% of black business owners stopped working. Minority-owned businesses are also having a more difficult time getting assistance from the Paycheck Protection Program. The group Black Upstart says it hopes that this initiative will help black business owners. Mary W. Jackson from Hampton was the first African-American female engineer at NASA. And now the headquarters in Washington, D.C. will bear her name. Ms. Jackson was a mathematician and aerospace engineer who was part of a group of women helping NASA succeed in getting American astronauts into space. You might remember the movie Hidden Figures told their story. Well, she passed away in 2005 at the age of 83. NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine says that the Mary W. Jackson NASA headquarters honors a woman who, quote, never accepted the status quo. She helped break barriers and open opportunities for African Americans and women in the field of engineering and technology.
Oh, love seeing that. That's great. Well, across the country, high school graduations have been a little different this year, but despite the pandemic, there was still a small crowd applauding this senior right here as she walked to receive her diploma. We're going to tell you why this ceremony was extra special.
And speaking of graduates, this young lady got 2 diplomas this spring. We'll tell you where she's taking her talents in the fall.
Joplin Max 6 is sponsored by the law firm of Allen & Allen. The injury attorneys of Allen & Allen are here to fight for compensation for your injuries. Visit allenandallen.com.
Some people say I'm too young to buy a car. Nope. With CMA's Easy Purchase, it's child's play to select my car. Secure my financing, value my trade-in, and select the delivery location, all on my terms. Plus, I get 0.9 for 60 months. I can buy the car I want, how I want, from where I want.
Who ordered a new car? From CMA's Colonial Honda?
Looks like no ice cream for me tonight.
CMA's Colonial Honda. Owners just do more.
It starts with Sara Lee Artisano bread. Thick slices that can hold cheese. All the cheese.
Richly flavored brioche that goes with any meat. A little sweet, a little savory, a lot of
Or soft, flour-dusted buns and rolls. Perfect for all my favorite flavors. And all my favorite people. No matter what you layer on, make it with Sara Lee Artisano, the original artisan-style bread. And make the routine remarkable.
They're filled with pictures, receipts. Some have all the essentials, others the most important treasures. But to us, they're more than wallets. They represent our members' financial lives. And in these uncertain times, we're here for those who hold them with digital banking, one-on-one advice by phone, and much more. Because at Virginia Credit Union, we've been helping members stay financially sound for nearly 100 years. And today, more than ever, we got you.
At Allegiant, we've flown 100 million people to be with those who matter most. And when you're ready, we'll welcome you back on board. Allegiant is going the distance for health and safety, because the further we go now, the safer it'll be to go farther tomorrow. And the sooner we can close the distance that separates us from the people we love. Book now for great deals on future travel.
Loyalty Toyota, Nissan, and Volkswagen are continuing their amazing money-saving offers. 0% APR for 6 years and 0 payments for 6 months. So you don't just save money today, you're saving money for years. And with lifetime loyalties, you keep on saving with oil and filter changes for life, state inspections for life, your engine and entire drivetrain guaranteed for life. Save money today, save for years to come at Loyalty Nissan, Toyota, and Volkswagen.
I'm doing this for my daughter who has asthma. I'm doing it for my grandma.
There are people who depend on me to keep them safe. Wear a mask. No matter who you do it for, every Virginian has to do their part to make it safe.
Don't miss the 4th of July event now at ConZone Plus. Save up to 50% on Hot Buy appliances. Get a sofa for 50% off when you buy the Magic Love Seat. And pay no interest for 48 months on select Samsung TVs when you use the low payment finder now at ConZone Plus.
All right, we're certainly off to a more muggy start today than yesterday, which is good, depending if you like humidity or not. I guess it's not good. I just had to say something there, I guess. But let's take a look at this sunrise this morning. Just starting to come up. We have astronomical twilight going on, and I have a picture here. I think it's our Millionaire Cam, and that is the airport. Yes, look at that, how beautiful that is. You got some of that early twilight with a mix of clouds and lots of reflection going on. It's a nice-looking morning, actually. 67 degrees. We do have a mostly cloudy sky. The humidity is up compared to yesterday. Very light wind, so it's not really helping much with some of this humidity. And the dew point is 64. That dropped into the 50s yesterday afternoon, but it came right back up overnight, and we do have a little moisture in the area. 60s to around 70 in spots. This is a quick look to the month of July. I know a lot of you plan or you have stuff going on. This is just the temperature outlook, the deviation from normal. It looks like just about everywhere will be at least a little bit above average, but particularly Northern Virginia all the way up to New England should be fairly well above average. Now, our average is in the upper 80s for July, so it'll probably be a little bit above that on average, and precipitation looks to be a little bit above average as well, but that just takes a little tropical moisture or a lot of thunderstorms to kick that up. So kind of tough to look at that at this point, but it doesn't look like we're heading toward a drought or anything like that. But you never know around here. A couple scattered showers this morning, and we can see that moisture streaming in from the south. We'll start to see more of that as we go into the afternoon and evening. This frontal boundary is going to sort of drift northward a little bit today. But tomorrow, high pressure comes right back in and gives us a nice day tomorrow. Your hour-by-hour forecast as we go into the early afternoon, maybe from 1 to 3, maybe even noon in some spots. We'll start to see some showers and storms popping up. And then we'll get a few more into the late afternoon and evening hours. So you can see they'll be fairly spotty, but they'll be out there, and they'll have the potential for some gusty winds and some heavy downpours today. So we'll keep an eye on that during the day. But only 83, but with all this humidity, it really doesn't matter. Tomorrow, it being 89, will actually be a bit more comfortable because there'll be more sunshine. It'll be a bit drier. 92 by Saturday, a few afternoon thunderstorms Sunday, and right into the middle part of next week as temperatures hover near average. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, here's a moment one high school senior will never forget.
Yeah, it wasn't the graduation Maggie Rock imagined, but it was a special one.
Margaret Rock.
The Godwin High School senior who has cerebral palsy had a goal to walk across the graduation stage to receive her diploma. And as you can see right there, she did it. Henrico Schools posted this video to social media. Unfortunately, there wasn't a large crowd like it would have been if it wasn't for the coronavirus, but people who were there cheered her on. In the video, Maggie says it was all a little surreal.
Congratulations,
Yay.
Maggie.
Gosh, that is incredible.
Yeah.
That just brings tears to your eyes. That's so cool.
One moment, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
We're going to share that video so more people can see it.
Yes, such a proud moment. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine what her family was feeling.
Exactly.
Wow. Congrats to her. Okay, starting off the morning, looking really good outside. This is real-time traffic, and we're seeing mostly green. So again, interstates are looking good. We do have some projects that may impact your commute this morning. One in Henrico, there's a traffic alert on I-295 for bridge work that's going on this morning. So there'll be some alternating lane closures on I-295 north here right before Route 60. This should be wrapping up around 6 this morning, so won't be impacting you too long, but expect those alternating lane closures if you are driving north on I-295. There's also a project going on in Chesterfield, a modular roundabout installation project that's been ongoing since June. And so what you may run into today is right here on Otterdale Road and Hampton Park Drive. That's where one of 3 roundabouts is being installed. So right now it's looking green, so we're looking okay, but you may encounter this throughout the day. Some left lane closures in both directions on Otterdale Road here, and some occasional flagging operations in place. So just be aware of that. This should be complete in early July. Reba, Rob?
Well, it's time for another Senior Salute, just our way of recognizing this year's graduating seniors from high schools across Central Virginia. And this morning, we'd like to recognize Shaylin Washington, a senior from Highland Springs High School. She was enrolled in the Advanced College Academy and graduates with a high school diploma and an associate's degree in business administration from J. Sargent Reynolds Community College. Shaylin is on the Dean's List with a 4.25 GPA. She was also a member of several clubs, including the National Honor Society. She'll be attending UVA in the fall, majoring in biology, with hopes to become a doctor in obstetrics and gynecology. And if you'd like to recognize a graduating high school senior this year, send your submissions to newstips@WTVR.com.
The governor's mask mandate is still in effect here in Virginia, and a new study is showing that wearing masks is saving lives. We're going to tell you just how many cases that mask may have prevented so far. You're watching CBS 6 News. We are working for you.
This is a really unique time. It's showing us just how much sports impact our daily lives. But while the games may be stopped for now,